All right. That'll probably work better. What's that, Care? Yeah, you will in a second. All right. Carrie's giving me direction from the shop living room. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. All right. Let's see. I don't see our special guest here yet. Just looking in the green room, probably getting makeup and all that kind of good stuff going on. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. Hello, Cindy. Joe, first one here. And then Joe says she's the first. Oh, it was a tie. Oh, who was here first? Lollipop Joe. There you go. Hey, Cindy Joe, Tim K. Hey, Larry, how you doing? Hope all is well. I found the diatomaceous earth today in Walmart. Yep, it was with insect sprays and ground poisons. Yes, sir. Gardening center. That's where you'll always find it. And it's actually pretty cheap, too. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. Got his abrasive paste made today. And what are you going to do with the abrasive paste? What does it go in? Is it for finishing things? Let's see. So he's got the paste made, and he's got to make his friction polish. Yep, he did that just fine. He used 6 punches or ounces of white beeswax, 1 can of walnut oil, and 2 ounces of diatomaceous earth. Sounds like you're making dynamite. What does it do? It's walnut oil, denatured alcohol. I'm going to use walnut oil. It's finished for pens. Oh, okay. Nice. Very nice. All right. I use beeswax and vegetable oil mix. It's an emulsification. Pretty cool. Walnut oil dry super glue hard. Makes a hard finish. Nice. Measures. Take a measurement. 1/3 each. We're getting the recipe. You ever use teak oil, Larry? That's a question. Been using his phone all day to get recipes. Oh, I better charge that baby up. Excellent. That would be a special order. A special order, and I use credit card or debit cards. Oh, okay. Linseed oil and Formbiz tongue oil. I've seen that in the store. Formbees, yeah, Formbees stuff. True oil. Look at a chatterbox. I don't know what that. Oh, look at you. You're a chatterbox. Yeah, yeah. That's okay, Larry. Sometimes you just got something to say, right? Let's see. Cindy, I know. I better put this on screen. I know of both of those. My hubby used all of them, no doubt. As a fabulous cabinet maker, he probably did all the good stuff. And he probably made much more than cabinets as well. Let's see. True oil is a gun stock finish. It's a modified linseed oil. Probably added some cinnamon and honey, right? Yeah, yeah. You'd imagine Cindy's pretty knowledgeable about that because she hung around it for many years. Carrie says hello. Joe says hello. Cindy, Larry, everybody's here. Let's see. Leopard Leatherworks standing by. I'm full of some good info and other info useless. Larry, that's pretty much all of us. Hey, Audrey, how you doing? Let's see. Then I came over and took over. Yes, for finishing pens. Nice. That's what I was. That's what I used to use. Oh, white beeswax. Cool. Kevin's diamond painting Spider-Man. That's good. Hello, Christina C. Hope you're doing well. Let me check on our guest. I'm going to flip over to the thing here. He'll be here whenever he's here. Okay, I'm going to say we are live. And join when you want. Let's see. If you have watched the video today, you will see me doing 5 ink pens, which came out diamond painting pens, all for Miss Denise D'Onofrio. And they were fun to do, but I tell you, it's a little bit out of my wheelhouse because I don't do them all the time. And there were 3 different pen kits, which took 3 different drill bits to drill through. That's a lot of changing time, a lot of moving things around and coming over here. Because the way you do a pen is you take a blank. Let's see. Let's find a blank. Let me find a blank. Carrie usually has all the blanks there. But anyway, let's just say you take a blank. And we got this cool blank from DPP. And one of the things that you do with the blank is you first need to cut it off a little bit longer than the actual tube that you need to put it on. And then you drill a hole through the middle of it all the way through with the correct drill bit. And then you mix up the epoxy and you smear that all around the outside of the brass tube. And then you slide the brass tube into the pen, making sure it's all the way in, and let it cure. I use a 5-minute epoxy, but I give it an hour just because I don't trust it, right? Nothing's really that good. So it's fully cured in about 45 minutes, I think. It's still a little soft right around the 5-minute point, so I don't really mess with it then. And then you take this, and then you have to go to the instructions, and I'll show you one here. This one will say, and you can see the little writing on here, that the top tube is 1.496 inches long, and the lower tube is 2.465 inches long. So you got to get out your caliper, and I use a digital one, and I put it on those little inchy kind of things there, and I measure out that size of the tube, and I go over to my sander, which has a disc sander. I use a tool that I just keep bumping it up against there in a nice square format. And then let me just show you that since we're playing here a little bit. Let me blow all the dust off this thing. But this is the jig that I will slide things onto here. I'll put the tube onto here, and then this sits down on my sander, and I'll move that blank out towards the sander, and this keeps it nice and square so that when I'm squaring it up, I get it to the right image. Hey, Jacob, we'll be there in a second. And then we know it's there. Can you join the link, Jacob? And then I take that and I got to turn it. So then I put it on a jig that looks like this. You'll see that on the lathe. And the thing is usually here in the center. And I'll turn it down nice and small. Jacob, do you need a new link? Oh, very good. He knows the deal. And then I've got to take that, finish it, and then I can assemble the pen. And you'll see that on the video today. You'll see me turning them, and you'll see me assembling them. But the cool thing is it took 6.5 hours because I started at 8 and finally finished about 2:30. 6.5 hours to make a 2.5-hour video. Oh man. Oh man. So yeah, it was a very fun day. Got 8 pens done. Sadly, I'd like to get 21 done like yesterday, but the ink pens take a bit longer. Yeah. And by the way, Stacy's aren't here now. I got something to tell Stacy if she pops in, but I got some way cool glitter. Way cool glitter. All right. So we'll be turning some blanks tonight and having our special guest, which he's already made himself known. It's going to be pretty exciting. A new artist out there in the community making things. We've known about him for a while. I thought he was over in Scandinavia in Europe somewhere because of his name, but that's not really his name. It's just his like cool trade name, which is really, really neat. But we'll wait for him to get backstage. So we're going to be doing a couple blanks tonight when he gets backstage. So anyway, so I was having fun today. Great time, great time. Then I took a break, said hi to Carrie. You know, all that fun stuff. Let's see. All right. So what we will do is we will get rolling. We got all 12 people here that we need. That is a official quorum, and we will pop over to the lathe and see if we can get done over there while we're waiting for our guest. All right. I'll look over once in a while and I'll watch the chat. Let me know when he's in. Let's see. All right, there we go. Sunday night. All right, here we go. Let's get a little turn here. So this one here is baseball bat 0.56, doesn't want Morse code. She has the gemstone with another Morse code, so she wants a different turning. Artist choice. I guess I can't choose that. All right. Let's get this elevated a little bit. Looks like my camera's a little off. Jaccobb. That's an interesting way to spell Jacob. That's pretty cool. Okay, here we go. Hello, Caden. How you doing? Oh, it shows you as backstage now. Let me turn the blower off. Let me turn the lathe off. I don't see you backstage. Yeah, you're not backstage yet, Jacob. I'm going to send you another invite just to make sure. Should be the same as the other one, but I'm not sure why the other one I sent you is not working. Maybe something got changed up. Yep, I just sent you a new one. Oh, the show's ended. Wow, we just got started too. There we go. So, welcome to the stage, everybody. Jacob Jansen. Jacob, welcome to Leopard Leatherworks.
Hey, everybody. Hello.
We can hear you.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Got it. The ugly mug.
Let me get my face back up there. I got to swap my cameras here. There we go. All right, Jacob. So everybody welcome Jacob to the channel. Got some pretty exciting things. Jacob is out in Ohio. Very beautiful farmland part of Ohio. Probably has a Sonic, a McDonald's, and Burger King and all that fun stuff. Maybe even a Krispy Kreme. But he is. What do you got, Jacob?
Not even that. We don't even.
Not even that. He's so far in the countryside. So Jacob is an artist, and he makes a number of things he's going to tell us all about. And Jacob, I'll let you take over. You take all the time you want. Talk about anything you want. Everybody ask him questions in the chat, and that'll help him out a little bit.
Yeah. So basically, I've been doing this about 5 years now. Kind of got into it. I was playing Dungeons and Dragons. I enjoyed painting miniatures. Started looking at entering my miniatures in competitions and stuff, and didn't have anything to mount my miniatures on. So kind of looked at display plinths, is what they're called. So found stabilized wood, whatever else, and came up with things like this. So this is what I painted. Reached out to a couple of people. Hey, I need a plinth. They're charging $20-25 for these things. So I'm like, well, I'm not paying that much, and kind of started doing it myself. So, dye my own wood, stabilize my own wood. Kind of got into that. Found a guy that started mixing resin in wood, and I'm like, oh, you can do that. So started doing the resin, found pen blanks, found knife handles. So pretty much I do everything my own. I will buy the burls. I'll secure whatever wood I can find. A lot of friends have wood piles that come across, spalted maple, spalted this, almost end up on the burn pile, and, I snag it from them and turn it in. So, I don't have a stick for this, but, I can show you over there. There's all, I got about 20 pressure pots. I got bins full of wood, my ovens, my drying ovens, my pressure pots, and my casting area. So basically, I was doing mainly pen blanks, hybrid pen blanks. Didn't do a whole lot of resin stuff. And then one day my wife comes home with this thing called diamond painting. I'm like, what the heck is diamond painting? I sat there and watched her do it for a couple of weeks, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I can use my pen blanks to make diamond painting pen stuff. So I started casting some, here and there, started finding some groups, found Castaway Creations, started finding some of the other diamond paintings, and then all of a sudden I'm sitting with my wife doing some diamond painting. So I also 3D print, so I've been 3D printing, cast up some things, did some test runs, and here we are, starting to do more and more, getting into some of these Turner groups like Tim here, and I really appreciate them letting me come in and dropping some of my stuff. I try to make what people like to see, but then again, I don't do I will make remakes, but my stuff is just all inspired from my art background. So the other thing that I just started doing is my 3D printing. I'm actually casting, like I will cast and I will make a mold of a piece of wood. So then I have a mold that I can actually, start putting some extra resin in. So got a lot of rainbow stuff. I just pulled some of these out. Haven't demolded them yet, but these are dragon scale / mermaid blank, I guess you could call them.
Mermaids are coming.
Yeah, so there's the pattern behind the scenes. I didn't cut them up yet. So yeah, I do have some things that Tim's going to allow me to drop Friday mornings in his group. So I don't know how many people like dolphins, but I got some dolphin blanks here.
Okay, let me make that bigger. Hang on, Jacob.
Yeah.
Let me stop sharing that real quick.
Yeah, so basically these are all resin. So I actually took my 3D print and then cast it in silicone. So we got those. And then they call these faux burls, foul burls, however you want to pronounce it.
Faux burl. Yeah, I've got a mold for that. Pretty cool.
Yeah, so basically I take those and I will actually cast, so this was a white faux burl, and then I cast that up. Some other ones in here mixed with some metal flakes, things like that. The other thing is I try not to step on, everybody casts their own stuff, right? So you'll see some stuff that's the same, but I try not to do that. And here, like a giraffe blank style, right? So basically these are all resin also. So what I did was I 3D printed my giraffe type, and then I will actually cast that in resin and then recast it to fill in everything.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so these are copper with a teal in it with white. And then this is also the giraffe, but it's like a clear with glitter in it.
Man, I'm having a flashback to the 70s now.
Yeah. Turn on the black light, actually. Let me see if I can do that. It's probably not going to do a little bit. Not too much, but it's hard to light it up. But yeah, so that's, I will probably drop these, and then here's another one. Same thing. It's
Very
like
nice.
Teal and stuff. So just still trying to figure out what everybody likes.
You know what it is, Jacob? Everybody likes everything because everybody's got a different flavor and a different taste.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the key is to just keep cranking out gorgeous stuff and mixing up the colors. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I do. Like I said, it's like I get my inspiration. I do use a color wheel, so I do, I don't even know. Let me look and pull. Yeah, complementary colors, your tetrads and all that stuff. Here's the other thing. Here is my drawer of stuff. all my
Absolutely.
mica powders. And then actually I just got a bunch of glitter down here.
Well, if you ask this crowd, you can't have too much glitter.
Oh no, I have learned that. So like I said, I do knife handles, and I do what's called painting handles. So, people will put their miniatures on top of that, and then they can sit there and hold it and paint and things like that. Another thing is I have a CNC machine. So I do kind of like serving boards. So I will cut patterns in and fill it with resin. So just something else that I do. What I do that for is I do a local farmer's market over the summer.
Yeah.
So basically I kind of make these different things for that. And that's another thing that I don't normally do is I don't post, like I make a lot of gifts, and I never post like finished pens and things like that just because what I supply everybody else, I don't want, there's other people making stuff. So I don't step on their thing. So I do my local markets and I do a lot of gifts. So I don't get a whole lot of time to turn myself, granted I did, turn some stuff for my wife and some pens and stuff.
Joe is asking, was that a sea turtle?
Yes, that was a sea turtle, Joe. Yes. So, and then I had just had my first farmer's market yesterday, so I didn't have a whole lot of boards, but I plan on doing some purples with that. I'm going to probably do some purples with the fairy and then purples with that dragon head and stuff. And if anybody's religious and stuff, I do have some silhouettes of Jesus and a cross. So I do
That always sells well.
Yeah. So I did a lot of pizza cutters and stuff and things like that, kitchen utensils and all of that. So yeah. So I mean, if you ever have something that you're looking for, hit me up behind the scenes. I don't know if Tim shared my link. Yeah, he did, my Etsy. You're better off hitting my Shopify site. That's my main site. And I do I sync everything over to my Etsy. And I do actually bump up the prices on Etsy just because Etsy's not nice to sellers.
Boy, they take a chunk.
Yeah, I would say it's more than a chunk. I'm missing part of my fingers.
Yep. I understand.
Yeah. So, always feel free. And I think, Tim, what we're planning on doing on Friday is I will do the drop and then I have a special, I'll post a link back to my website is where everybody will check out. And it's and I think if people have seen what Castaway Creations, Don and Jamie do, it's kind of the same thing because I did work with Jamie behind the scenes and she helped me set up a lot of that stuff on the website to get that checkout. And it will be once I get orders in and stuff, I will ship them for free over to Tim to turn, and then Carrie will get the invoices out once he's done doing all the work and stuff for you guys. So
yeah, very good. So everybody out there listening right now, super important. Number one, he's going to be dropping on Fridays, which is going to be a lot of fun. If you go to his website and you see something that you like, you can order it. And in the drop-down box, you can select us as one of the turners that he'll send to, which is pretty exciting.
Yes. And that will also be free shipping. I believe at this point, if you order any of the blanks under the pen blanks, and if you look at how I have it, if you're looking for a special color, I have it set up to where you can, like, say you're looking for red, you can go under my pen blanks and select red, and it'll bring up anything that has red in the title. And then once you would click a checkout, what you'll end up doing is putting Turner in the checkout box and apply that, and that'll apply a free shipping. And then what I'll do is I'll ship that to Tim. And then, like from there, they would invoice you for the finished pen.
Absolutely. So, and just so you know, Jacob, nobody really steps on anybody's toes in this diamond painting world because I mix a few blanks and I've got all the gear now. I got the oven, I got the vacuum stuff, got the molds, all that kind of stuff to start stabilizing. But I need to catch up on my pens because I'm about 220 pens behind right now.
Shame on
So
you. Shame
yeah,
on you.
it's terrible. And I got a day job. So
Yeah.
so
I get,
yeah, everybody just feel free to jump onto his websites, see what they've got, watch the drops on Friday. And if you don't see something you like, ask him for something and buy other products as well. Plinths if you've got figurines or cutting boards or all that kind of fun stuff.
yeah, I'm pretty laid back. I usually respond within a couple hours. I'm always out in the shop. You know, and this is my full-time gig now. Back history is I did ER and trauma as a registered nurse for about 10 years in level 1 trauma center. So I really got burnt out. I ended up with some PTSD. And after that, I got into IT work and I did that for about almost 20 years. And then just kind of, you know, COVID hit and had nothing to do. And that's kind of when I started, you know, doing the painting and then kind of got into this. Took my wife to my first display plinth show, miniature show, and asked, "Hey, I want to do this full time." And you know, we made enough money to say, "Yeah, go ahead." So yeah, so I get to enjoy this doing. You know, this is like I call this my pre-retirement gig. I'm only a couple years away from retiring anyway, so that's kind of what I do, and I'm really inspired by it. And you know, just to see like all this diamond art and you know, anything really that has to do with art, I really enjoy it. So yeah, if there's, you know, I do hybrids. I can do wood on one side, I can do wood on both sides. So yeah, if you have something that you don't see on my site or nobody else is making, you know, reach out to me with your special requests and stuff, and
Some will do that for sure. Some will do that for sure. Now, also, one of the things I want to mention is Jacob stabilizes all the woody products that he uses. So if it's cholla wood or burl wood or thistles or sweet gum balls or pine cones, that really is a big important thing because that makes it the whole blank a lot more integrated together. Because if you don't do that, the wood actually will create a weak spot in that blank.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing that I learned at the very beginning, and it was mainly with my knife scales because the knife scales were so thin,
Yeah.
down to a quarter inch. So, I mean, people are like, "Oh, you don't need to do pine cones; they're too small." Well, I've seen to the point where, yeah, you don't need to, but I do it just because it's going to make the pen in the end. It's going to make it last longer. You know, not that you're going to be diamond painting outside and stuff, but the movement of the wood and stuff is limited.
Yes, absolutely. And
Stabilized.
boy, with a non-stabilized piece of wood and you've got resin around it, that wood will move with the humidity in the air. It'll expand, contract, warp, all that good stuff. So stabilization is super wonderful to literally stabilize. I guess that's why they got that word in there. The wood to keep it pretty stiff.
Yeah, and I do have some thistles. I just processed some cattails that I picked this past year. So yeah, so I pretty much do anything. Sweet gum balls are not very high on my list. I talked with Jim over at Cocoon Blanks, and it was funny because he was just in this area and he didn't realize how close he was. I said, "I got 2 sweet gum trees. You can come and get all you want." So yeah.
The best sweet gum ball blanks I have seen is when they dye the sweet gum balls and stabilize them and then put them in a really light resin.
Yeah.
Beautiful contrast, beautiful colors. Hello, Tennis. Welcome in.
Yeah. So yeah, so I really enjoy it. You know, I try to get a lot done. You know, last year I had a real big setback. I had 2 surgeries I had to have, and I'm actually still recovering from my shoulder surgery, but
Hmm.
got the A-OK. So it's just a matter of getting that back to strength and stuff. So,
Well,
yeah,
that's good. We're glad you're healthy,
yeah,
and glad that you're almost retired. This is my plan. I'm still working the day job thing. I'm in IT, but more of the account management and that kind of stuff for big accounts.
yep.
I work for a systems integrator, but I retired twice before and was no good at it and went back to work. So this is now my retirement plan, and in another 2 or 3 years, I'll fully retire and just do this all day long,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which is fabulous.
There's nothing better than grabbing a cup of coffee and just stepping out into the shop. Yeah.
Well, I was out here at 8 this morning making pens, preparing. So I was doing a lot of ink pens this morning, and
Okay.
just having a good time, just here, pittering around the shop.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I appreciate you letting me do some drops in your place, and I'm excited to see what you, Stacy, Vicky, and Lisa do with that challenge. I think that's going to be pretty interesting too.
Yep, that's so. Jacob has made us all blanks. Stacy usually chooses where we're going because I'm so busy I don't have time. So
Yeah.
she goes, "Hey, let's go over to Jacob Jansen," and they picked out a blank. We all bought a blank. We're going to turn that for our June challenge. But don't forget the May challenge is up and active now, and you can go and vote and see the blanks that we've done, which are sort of a neon-based blank, and vote on those. And then in June, we'll pop out these other cool blanks, which I can't tell you anything about. That way it's a secret and you see them out there and then you won't know whose is whose.
Yep.
So that's the fun part. But Jacob, we appreciate you being here tonight. We appreciate you joining part of the Leopard family and excited to see what you're going to be doing for blanks in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate it, Tim, and looking forward to it. Yeah. Everybody look for the drop sometime. I think anytime after 8, I'll probably get it up. So between 8 and noon, probably before that. But yeah, I'll get some blanks out there. And like Tim said, if you have anything that you don't see on my site or something different that you want, just feel free to reach out. I do custom work and stuff. I don't charge any extra for doing custom. Unless it's something like you have, if you wanted like an inlay on my CNC stuff, I do charge like a $10 setup fee. But outside of that, I don't charge any extra. I'm always casting. I'm always, out here. So I'll just put you on the list and get it done when I get it done, and we'll go from there. So, but yeah, I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to working with you and Carrie.
Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jacob. Any questions for Jacob? I didn't see any come through, just that one, but
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing too, Tim. So that's, like I said, I played D&D. So Jacob Jansen was one of my first characters.
Yep.
And it carried over into my business name. And it's funny because we talked behind the scenes here a little bit about, I used to stream my painting on Twitch, and the Europeans would come in my channel, or I would hop in a European channel and they would call me Jakob Janssen.
Yeah.
Over in Europe, they pronounce the J's with a Y. So that's
Yep.
thing,
And
so.
and that's what I did too. Oh, here's Carrie. Carrie saying, "Hey."
Hey, Carrie.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Good. He's the talent. I just do everything else.
Yeah.
Everything else. I'm
and
the on-air personality.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing too. I do have a Facebook group that I kind of started, so I'm trying to grow that a little bit. So behind the scenes, if you look up my info, if you want to join that, I will be doing special drops also, and it'll be the same thing. It may be a round over thing of any turner, but if you would pick Tim and stuff, I'll always ship free to your turner and stuff. So
Excellent.
Wonderful.
Very good. Thank you, Jacob. Have a good evening.
You guys
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you for joining us.
have a good one.
Good
You
night.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Be safe.
Yep. Bye.
All righty then. Let's get back over to business here. Okay, there we go.
Here we are.
All right, there's the big guest. Very exciting. I really love a lot of his color combinations and some of the things he's doing. So it's always fun to have another blank maker in because they've always got their own flavor of how they do things. So this will be pretty cool. All right, here we go. Let's see. Where were we? Blower on. And we're doing a baseball bat, 0.56, no Morse code, artist choice. That's just a little too high, this little tool rest here. Personally, I was pretty excited that he joined our group and going to drop in there. I'm always looking for quality blank makers, that's for sure. Excellent. Everybody go join his Facebook group and all that good stuff so you can see what he's putting out. Sort of funny with Castaway Creations, which is Don and Jamie, Don being the older of the two. And who's the other fellow that makes blanks? Jim Godoy. Although he's like me, he still has a day job. But we all got this retirement plan. We're just going to sit around and make blanks and pens the rest of our lives. Hopefully our health stays with us. Okay, 0.56 on there, 0.60 there. And I shouldn't say all the blank makers, some of the blank makers. Yeah, I know. He's down there in Columbus. And I grew up probably hour and a half from where Jacob is in Ohio. I grew up in Wheeling, West Virginia. But just right down the road. You know, it's funny is my son lived in Delaware, Ohio for a short bit back around, oh, I don't know, 86, 2005 for a couple of years. All right, we should be good there. Still a little thick, out about 0.58. Hey, Jackie JB, good to see you. But yeah, everybody go join the Facebook group, and you probably get notifications when he's dropping stuff, not in our group and all that kind of thing, when he comes up with new products. That's the best thing about social media is the world is literally your neighborhood. All right, let's see what we're going to do with this one right here. I'd love to do vases, but all this glitter always makes me a little worried about the vases. Let's see where the middle is. And absolutely, Christina. And I'll be up in Archbold, Ohio in a few weeks. Way up there in the northeast corner, about an hour west of Toledo. Let's see, we've already given this young lady single pane window, My Shell Delight, and Excalibur. I think we're going to give her a TIE Fighter on this one. And we're going to do the dimpled TIE Fighter. All right, we got that one right in the middle. That's awesome. Let's go out about, let's go 3/4 either way. And Jacob, what we do here at Leopard Leatherworks is we give our turnings unique names so people can say, hey, I want that. And they know exactly what to ask for, and I know exactly what they're talking about. Chillicothe. I know where Chillicothe is. Ohio is an absolutely beautiful state, except for Cleveland. Just kidding. Cleveland's nice too. You know, it's amazing. We were talking, Jacob and I spent some summers as a youth at Cedar Point, Ohio. Can't remember the name of the roller coaster we rode, but it was somewhat famous. And then we went over to Kings Island over in, north of Dayton. Big amusement park there. That's the amusement park they filmed those little banana split scenes from. Don't know why they were over there, but that's what they did over there. Gemini, that was the one. Yeah, that was back in the 70s. The Gemini. Man, I have not been to Sandusky for 46 years. That's cool, Joe. That is cool. This is a sandpaper block. I usually use this when I've got these intricate designs here because I can't get my fingers in there with the regular sandpaper, little squares you'll see me use. And it really just gets that first pass of, let me get rid of all the knife marks. I think this is a 120 grit. And you can hear it work. There's a big hiss when you first hit it, and then it's smooth as can be. It quiets down. I get them on Amazon. I think they're like $6 or $7 for a dozen of them. It's still pretty rough, but it's all the knife marks are gone, which is the most important part for that one. Absolutely. People have asked for hair of loved ones, and I've done that one once. But yeah, they can have ashes added. It doesn't hurt anything. It's like adding mica powder. Some even had some bone chunks that were left over from the cremation, and they wanted those bone chunks to be visible. So we tinted the resin a little bit with their favorite color, and then put the stuff in there. The hair, I'm talking, not the bones, but there are people who will want, if they're doing a casting, they'll want as much as the animal in there as you can. There you go. Yep. Whatever people want, we make. No big deal. That's pretty cool, Jacob. Pretty cool. Yeah, the sky's the limit. And you know, even though Jacob was talking about not stepping on other people's toes, there's so much demand out there that once you let people know what you're doing, you're going to be busy for a long time. And you know, there's only 8 billion people in the world, and I only need about 1,000 good customers over the next couple of years. So plenty more to choose from. That is for sure. Yeah, I did a lock of hair in a block that was super shined up, super square, and you could see the hair as clear as day. And it was somebody's daughter who had passed away. I think she was about 13 or 14. Had one of those diseases nobody wants to get. All right, that's feeling pretty good there. Next level up. But if you want to see some gorgeous ink pens, check out those ink pens I did today. It's in the live. It's premiered already. It's all over, so it's ready and fresh to watch when you get a moment. Everybody out there. I love doing the ink pens. They take so many steps. But man, when you put them together in literally 2 minutes, when all the parts are ready to go. You know, it's funny, Jacob, is I got a right here. Where's it at? Right. Where'd it go? I got a sliver. That thing he oh right there. There it is. Right there. I got a sliver of resin off a blank sliced into my finger. Started festering. It was like a piece of wood splinter. Weird. So I dug it out with an X-Acto knife. I did not go to the emergency room. Hello, Natty. How you doing? Good to see you. We just had a special guest here, Jacob Jansen from Jacob Jansen's Designs and all that kind of stuff. Makes plinth blocks for display and painting little figurines. Makes diamond painting blanks, knife blanks, and just about everything else made out of wood or resin. And his links are above. And if you can't scroll up, then Joe will post them again for you. Just let us know. The space is free. Last year I cut my thumb 2 times, exact same spot. Oh man, I took a dig today right here. I was doing something and I was doing one part of the pen blank and I came over here and I nicked and it just tore the quick of my finger up. But I'll live. I'll put some Neosporin and a Band-Aid on it and tomorrow everything will be fabulous. I probably won't even ask for pain medication. But that's part of just playing in the shop, isn't it, Jacob? Just, you get a nick here and there and a cut and you learn to deal with it, get past it. And I hope your shoulders heal really well and really fast. Yes, it was if you went back in the video, you would see Jacob chatting about his things and was showing his website and showing some things he's got around the shop. He's got a nice setup. And again, he's probably 3 or 4 years ahead of me. Right now, I'm just in the pen turning mode for a couple of years and I'll get a couple of minutes and go on to something else or continue to do this, but add to the pile, especially when I retire. I don't have a very physically demanding job, so it's not hard to do my job, but it does take a lot of hours. So between turning for Carrie at Leopard Leather Works and my day job and my hypnotherapy practice, I'm probably most weeks right around 90 to 100 hours a week. But again, not physical, very interesting, very fun, very engaging. Oh yeah, that came out cool. That came out cool. Let's take that to the leopard scope, even though it's not, what do you call it? Yeah, unless your honeydew list is long. That never stops, the honeydew list. Let's see, let me get the leopard scope out. There we go. So that's the dimpled TIE fighter. We did a TIE fighter that doesn't have the dimple. That looks cool too, but I think that one looks really intricate. Very cool. Very cool. Love it. Love it. Too much fun. All right. The next one is, let's see, this is a Rapture Resins Bury Brids Centaur one-off. I don't even know what that means, but it's very purple. with some light lavender glitter on the ends. Yeah, there's some blanks here, Jacob. We just need to take to the leopard scope. It looks so cool. Looks a little more purple on my screen or in real life here than it does on screen. Looks a little bluish there. All right, we are going to get baseball bat again, 0.54, an artist choice. Here we go. Jacob and I always use those sanding blocks for these very glittery blanks. Helps to smooth that out pretty well if there's too much glitter on. Oh, this is pretty light here. Got a 0.58 there. There it is, 0.54. Let's finish the baseball bat. Now, see, that one feels like potato chips right there. Little packet of glitter there. Hello, Rebecca. How you doing? Just in case you missed it, Rebecca, Jacob Jansen was our special guest. He may still be hanging out here. Might have something to do, not sure. But he is a wonderful artist blank maker in Northeast Ohio. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to be in Northwest Ohio with Rebecca and my wife and many other diamond painters. Not Northeast Ohio, Northwest. Archport's on the other side of the state, west of Toledo. All right, let's see how we're doing for a measurement here. 0.6. Yep, see you around, Jacob. Have a good evening. Man, look at that collection of glitter right there. That's going to be like potato chips. Let's see. Let's give this one so much glitter in there. I hate to do vases. I love to do vases, but man, there's just sometimes the glitter and the vases don't mix too well. Let's find us the center here. Let's see. I could do restraints. That might be a pretty turn on this one. Yeah, let's do some restraints. We'll do 3. Let's do 4. 4 will be pretty. 1, 2, 3, 4 right in there. 5 lines, 4 restraints. Okay. By the way, today, everybody, the Oklahoma City Thunder basketball team clinched their semifinals. They beat the Denver Nuggets. Pretty exciting for that team. They really did a masterful job on them today. My goodness. It was amazing. It was so bad with about 8 minutes to go. Denver was so far behind, they took their first string out and put in the second string. And then Oklahoma City Thunder did the exact same thing. So the last 10 minutes of the game was, or 8 minutes of the game was the young wannabes working it out. Yeah, they've had one of the best seasons in the NBA ever, 68-14. I wasn't even paying attention till the playoffs came around. I thought, wow, where have I been? Got to get my head out of the sand, you know? Yeah, we got tornadoes about 3 hours west of here. We got some big thunderstorms rolling in. Hopefully the tornadoes will bypass us and head somewhere else. So Rebecca, Jacob is going to be dropping blanks on Friday, probably mid-morning, I'm thinking. And he is also a game player, by the way. Plays Dungeons and Dragons, has in the past. Not sure if he's active. But his real name is not Jacob Jansen, but that was one of his very first characters in D&D. Oh, what am I doing? Wrong jug. Water jug. And today I heard Joe Biden was diagnosed with very aggressive prostate cancer. That's what my dad died of. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but I think, how could they miss that if it's very aggressive? Did it just all of a sudden start? Man alive. It's got the best medical care in the world. Figure they'd be screening in that and doing that little butt check and all that kind of stuff on him. He's only a couple of years older than my dad when my dad died. So I hope he does well. Okay. Oh, that turned out nice. That's pretty. And we got rid of that big chunk of potato chips that were right in there. Very nice. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Very nice. Yes, everybody check out Jacob Jansen's website. Very cool stuff. Every blank maker, whether it's Castaway Creations with Don and Jamie, or Jesse and Jim over at Cocoon, or Grateful Pop, I forget his name, Jeremy, Grateful Pop. Everybody has their own flavor of what they do, so it really keeps the blanks fresh. Let's see. I hear voices. Why do I hear voices? Oh, Carrie's playing the stream in the living room. I hear it off in the distance. Thought the FBI was here for me or something. Just kidding. They don't want me. I'm too ornery. All right. That finishes up Jess Russ's round. And let me put this in the bucket. All right. Hey, Mary, how you doing? Sadly, I have to depart. Carrie is not feeling well, and she wants me to take her to the emergency room. So I have to say good evening. And Mary, hope you and Bud are doing well. Has Bud make it back home yet? Not down the road. I know he was working hard. Anyway. Hello. Yeah, she just, I think pancreatitis attack or something like that. She's not feeling well. So we'll take her over there. They'll drug her up, do some tests and all that kind of junk and tell her what to do and all that kind of good stuff. Ah, very good. Yeah, he texted me, said he's going to send me some stuff. So that's pretty cool. But everybody, I got a big crowd here tonight. I hate to cut this off early, but I got to take care of the head leopard. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I will be back again tomorrow night. I know that we've got week 7 wrap up, I think, for the Be a Little Artsy with Mrs. Butter D. I think we're on week 7 now. And we're going to do that with Carrie in the office and do all that fun stuff. So we will talk with you all later. You all have a good evening. Be safe, be wonderful, love somebody, and keep loving everybody. Bye-bye.